In a quiet corner of a small Ohio town, where factory whistles had long gone silent and dreams seemed to rust like old cars, a single dad named Mike stood in his tiny garage wiping grease from his hands. Bills piled up like storm clouds. His little girl, Sophie, needed new braces for her legs, and the rent was 2 weeks late. But when an elderly woman rolled up in a squeaking, broken wheelchair that afternoon, something inside Mike stirred. He could have charged her. He needed the money. Instead, he gave her something money can't buy, pure kindness. What happened next would remind everyone watching that one small act of goodness can rewrite an entire life. If you're moved by stories that restore your faith in humanity, hit that subscribe button right now and join the Kindness Moments family. Give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment sharing your own story of kindness, big or small. Let's spread more light together. Mike Thompson was just 34, but life had already knocked him down hard. After his wife passed away 3 years earlier from a sudden illness, he became everything to 6-year-old Sophie. He worked 6 days a week as a mechanic, fixing cars for folks who often paid late or not at all. The garage was attached to their small rented house, its walls lined with faded photos of better times. Evenings were spent helping Sophie with homework, making spaghetti, and praying the hospital bills wouldn't swallow them whole. Sophie's cerebral palsy meant she needed special equipment, and every extra dollar went toward that. Mike's hands were strong from years of turning wrenches, but his heart carried a quiet exhaustion. That Tuesday started like any other. The sun beat down on cracked asphalt as Mike replaced brakes on an old pickup. Then he heard the slow scrape of wheels against the driveway. An older woman in her late 70s, Mrs. Eleanor Hayes, struggled to push her wheelchair forward. One wheel wobbled badly, bent from hitting a curb. She winced with every bump. "I'm so sorry to bother you," she said, her voice soft but steady. "I don't have much, and the repair shop downtown quoted me $400. I just need to get to my doctor's appointment." Mike knelt down, examining the chair. The wheel was twisted, bearings shot. He knew it would take a couple of hours and parts he'd have to pull from his own limited stock. Normally he'd charge at least $200. But something in Eleanor's tired, hopeful eyes reminded him of his late wife, of the dignity people deserve even when they're struggling. "Don't worry about the money, ma'am," he said gently. "Let me fix this for you. You shouldn't have to miss that appointment." Eleanor protested, but Mike insisted. He worked carefully, straightening the frame, replacing bearings, and greasing everything until the wheelchair rolled smooth and silent again. Sophie even came out with a glass of lemonade, her braces clicking softly as she walked. Eleanor thanked them both with tears in her eyes. She reached for Mike's hand. "You have no idea what this means," she whispered. "God bless you and this sweet girl." Mike smiled, waved her off, and went back to work, figuring that was the end of it. He'd lost money on parts and time, but his heart felt a little lighter. Hours passed. The sun dipped low, painting the sky in warm oranges. Then, just as Mike was closing up the garage, a sleek black SUV pulled in. A well-dressed man in his 50s stepped out, followed by Eleanor herself, sitting comfortably in her newly repaired chair. Behind them, another car arrived carrying a small film crew from the local news. "Mike," the man said, extending his hand. "I'm David Hayes, Eleanor's son. You helped my mother today when no one else would. She told me everything." What Mike didn't know was that Eleanor Hayes wasn't just any elderly woman. Her late husband had founded a successful manufacturing company that supplied parts to auto shops across the Midwest. David now ran the business and had been looking for honest, skilled mechanics to lead a new community repair program. That evening, over coffee at the kitchen table, David offered Mike a full-time position as supervisor at their flagship garage, double his current pay, full benefits, and a special fund to cover Sophie's medical needs for the next 5 years. The company would even help them move into a home better suited for Sophie's needs. Mike sat stunned, tears streaming down his face as Sophie climbed into his lap. Eleanor smiled from across the table. Kindness isn't a transaction, young man, she said. It's a circle. You fixed more than my chair today. You reminded me that good people still exist. The story spread quickly. Local news picked it up, then national outlets. People across America sent messages of support, donations for Sophie, and offers of help. But for Mike, the real miracle wasn't the money or the job, it was the reminder that even in your hardest season, choosing kindness plants seeds that bloom when you least expect it. Today, Mike still works with his hands, but now he mentors young mechanics and makes sure no one in need leaves his shop without help. Sophie runs, yes, runs, through their new backyard with confidence, her braces fitted perfectly. And every evening, he tells her the story of the day a simple choice changed everything. Kindness has this beautiful way of finding its way back to you, often multiplied. In a world that can feel divided and cold, remember Mike's story. The next time you see someone struggling, a neighbor, a stranger, even a friend, choose to help. Fix what's broken. Offer your time. Give without expecting. Because you never know whose life you're about to transform, including your own. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs hope right now. Let's keep the circle of kindness turning. Thank you for watching Kindness Moments, see you in the next story.